beforehand, I've lived in what I would call like a tsunami of pain. This constant swirling mass of anger and despair, and it was that just this chaos I was living in. But when I walked out of that door and I felt my brain shatter, I found out what was under that pain. People talk all the time in their imagery about depression, about going down the spiral, going down into the depths, going down into depression. There's a reality to that, okay? In the first stages of it, it's self-loathing. You start to hate yourself, like I did. I started in the beginning, I hated myself. I was the bad person. That can shift, and that can grow into hating everything around you. That you hate it because it hurts you. And everything around you is pain, so you start to despise it. Then that moves even further, and the tornado intensifies, and you start to want to destroy the things around you. Not physically destroy, but just make everything around you just go away. Just break it. Burn your world down. That's where I was living for the years beforehand. But once you hit the bottom, all that tornado and tsunami goes away. All that anger and all that chaos, that just vanishes. Because when you really don't have anything left to care about, and you really don't have anything left to lose, there's nothing that can hurt you. And when you don't have anything to lose, you can do anything. That's a terrifying thought. So, across the street from the mental health place, that was my high school at the time. And at the ROTC door of the high school, I had known that there were some gangbangers that had been hanging out there all the time. This was mid-90s, so gangs were still really prevalent in Denver. And I knew that they had brought guns to school. They brought them and shown them off a couple times, like showing off their pistols and stuff. And they knew that I wasn't a narc. Obviously, I was the homeless kid living in the field and in the parks. So they knew I wasn't going to rat him out to anybody. And they had sold drugs to my family before, so we kind of known each other on a first name basis. So I go up to him, I'm like, hey, can I get a gun? Preferably one that shoots a lot of bullets. He's like, yeah, sure, give me 3 days, give me an ounce of weed. I'm like, all right, cool, that's no problem. Getting the drugs were no issue. I just went to my family's house and stole an ounce from the druggie sleeping on my mom's floor. Went and give it to the guy, okay? And this is, again, price scale, late 90s, that's like $500, $600 worth of weed that I stole. Go and give it to this guy. And he said, all right, cool, give me 3 days. I'm like, all right, fine. I know that now I had planned the attack. Because in the years beforehand, when I was living in that darkness and wearing it like a shield, hanging out with those disaster groupies, sometimes we fantasize about that stuff. It's a weird thing no one ever talks about. But you know how sometimes with your group of friends you're talking about, well, there's this sports team, or what that girl you like in there, or you ever see that movie? With my friends, we'd sit around and talk about killing people. I was kind of in that space, looking back now, I was kind of in that spot of trying to give away things and say goodbye to people. And I went to Mike's house, because he had been one of the only positive things in my entire life. And I went there just thinking I was gonna kind of say goodbye. And instead, he brought me in and treated me like a person. When you're treated like a person, you don't even feel like you're human. It'll change your entire world. And it changed me. He just sat me down and he's like, dude, it's gonna be okay. These things you're going through, this hell that you're living in, you're not broken. You're not a monster. You're just going through hell. You're gonna be okay. He sat down with me and we had a meal, watched a movie, treated me like it was just a regular day, like it was just a Tuesday. Not like I was some broken monster, not like I was some kind of project that needed to be fixed, not like I was some number that was a danger, just that I was a person in pain. I never went and got the gun. I stayed at Mike's house that whole week. His love saved my life.